Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is your man Junior, and I normally start off by saying what I'm about to do in this video. I'm just, letting my client spin her around so you guys can see what I'm working with. But I just want to start off by thanking everybody for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm seeing the subscriber count go up, and that just really makes me feel good. It feels like I'm doing something right. But I'm doing an undercut today. My model is the lovely Anaya, and this is actually my second time doing an undercut for her. I've been cutting her brother's hair. He's still yet to let me film him, but she was ready to let me film her on the first one. I just didn't have my camera set up, but she said when she came back again I could film it, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to start off with a big guard, number two blade. And typically with most women and some guys too, you want to start big. You don't want to start with a smaller guard because it just can remove too much hair. I know some people may say, well, hair is hair, but it's different. You don't want to remove too much right away, especially when you're dealing with ladies. So I could have jumped straight in with the 1.5, but I just thought that may take off too much. So I wanted to start higher and just see how the hair was laying, and then I can always come back and do some touch-ups with the 1.5. So that's what I'm doing right now. I have my number 2 blade on the Andes detachable clipper, and I'm just going against the grain. Now I will be showing both sides because it's an undercut. And also, whenever you're doing an undercut, you always want to ask your client, whether you're doing one on the man, or in this case I'm doing one on the lady, you just want to ask her, how does she want the back and the sides? Some people want them all the same size. Some people may want a taper in the back, and that's what I'm going to do on her, a taper, nice light taper fade in the back. And some, like I said, just all want it the same level, same length. And as far as the sides, again, some people may want them shaved and tapered off. Some people want to keep them. She's going to keep her sides. And then you also want to ask as far as the lineup. Me, myself, I don't like putting a masculine lineup on females. Now, if they ask for it, that's different. But if they don't, my rule is I don't put a sharp masculine edge up lineup on a lady. I like to make it nice, and I put a curve on it, and anything but boxed and square like it's a guy. I just don't do that. So on this side again, I'm just using the number 2 blade and just lowering her hair. And as you can see, the number 2 took off a lot of hair. That's another reason why I didn't want to jump straight into her hair with the 1.5. And now I'm going with the grain, and I'm just laying down all the hairs the number 2 blade missed. So I'm brushing, just laying the hairs down, going all the way up to her crown, and just laying those hairs down too. Now the V part that you see in the back, that's not done with a clip or anything. We had to section her hair off, and she was keeping the mohawk section. So when we sectioned it off, it just created, that's a natural part. I didn't put that in with a trimmer. And again, I'm on this side. I'm still going with the grain, just laying hairs down. Because if I was to go against the grain, it's going to remove hair. Now in the back, like I said, I asked her how does she want her back. She wanted the back tapered. But as you can see, as I'm going against the grain with that 1.5, it's removing hair as if I'm using the number 1. So right now I'm just cleaning up some little dark areas of demarcation. What that means, just dark spots left behind. It doesn't fully look even, and I'm just using the corner of the 1.5 blade, not using the full blade because it would take off way too much hair if I did. Just be careful as you're doing this. And again, this video is sped up, so it looks like I'm going extremely fast. I'm actually taking my time, and I'm examining her hair, seeing how it lays, and I'm looking at the growth pattern. As you can see, I'm going over her ear, just being real gentle with the hair. Because the last thing you want to do is just remove so much hair, and then your client, whether it's male or female, looks like they're patched or have a plug or a round missing spot. Now, most undercuts, you will get requests to do designs, and we had a particular design we wanted to do, and that's what I'm about to do. I drew one up for her, and it actually went from one side to the other side. It actually would have been on both sides, and she just wanted a design on one side, on her left side. Because sometimes she may want to wear her hair down on one side and just show off that one design. So we just went with this one particular side design. But it would have been super dope if I could have connected on the other side too. Hopefully I'm not blocking the camera view with my shoulder. Looks like I am slightly. But you'll still be able to see. This is just a rough draft, me sketching the design in. And I'll go back and touch it up some more. I still have to finish the taper in the back. But just sit back and relax and just watch me go to work. And again, everyone, my rule of thumb, if I can't draw it on paper, I won't attempt to put it in someone's head. So that's just my rule. That's saved me from making mistakes and sending people out with unsatisfied designs. So again, unless you're a master artist or drawer, I wouldn't try to go too extreme when you're doing designs in people's heads, and unless you're just super confident in yourself and your skills. I'm confident, but I know my limitations. So again, it's just my helpful tip. If you can't draw that design, don't try to put it in someone's head. Because remember, as they leave your shop and your chair, they're your advertisement, they're your billboards. People will either say, hey, who cut your hair and did that design? Or they'll say, ooh, who did that design? That doesn't look good. And once that happens, it's going to ruin your client's confidence in themselves, their confidence in you. You may lose that client, and it's going to hurt your business. I would say if you want to do designs and stuff to that nature, buy a mannequin and practice on a mannequin. I've done that. I still do that. You definitely don't want to practice in a client's head. Mannequins are not that expensive. You can find them at pretty much any beauty supply store. You can find them on Amazon. And yeah, just practice on that mannequin and just, get better with your skills. So now I just want to lighten up some, help with some shading around that part to make it pop out some more. So I have my 1.5 blade back on, and I'm just lightly picking my spots around the part just to make it pop out some more. And I'm not a real big fan on using the razor in my parts. I feel like my trimmers are sharp enough to where I don't have to do that. So I don't follow back over my designs with a razor. I'm not dissing anybody that does. I'm just, in case someone was wondering, why didn't he go back over it with a razor? I just don't. That's just my personal preference. I see a lot of good barbers that they won't even use a trimmer. All they use is a razor. So that's just, personal preference. So that's no disrespect to anybody that uses razors. Junior just doesn't. That's all. And what I'm doing now, I'm just, again, doing some detailing. And I'm still not finished with that taper, but I just saw too many dark spots, and I just had to go back and do a little detailing, a little touch up. Now let's jump back on the taper. Now I'm going with my 1/8 blade, going against the grain. This is gonna be a low taper, a light. I'm calling this one a light taper because I'm not going all the way down to the skin. Now I have my adjustable, my Babyliss Pro FX. These are the influencer editions. These are Sophie's editions, and I'm just going open and close. And again, I'm not gonna go down to skin because I don't want to irritate her neck. So I know I said I'm going open to close. I'm actually going open to middle and right before close. So now I have my number 1 guard on, and I'm gonna start with it open, and then I'll slowly close it. Still working on that taper in the back, and then if I see any other dark spots, I'm gonna tack them, as you can see. Okay, I'm about to do the edge up, and again I'm just going to touch up the part, the design again, and we'll go to the edge up and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about as far as how I like to do my edge ups on ladies. Now again, everything is personal preference, and you also want to check with the client, because even though I don't want to put a boxy edge up on a female, they may want that. So it's all what they want. You want to give the client what they want. You can also make recommendations as well. But she gave me creative control, so I gave her that type of edge up I thought would look best on her. Now I know my elbow is in the way, but I'm putting emphasis on her C-cup, trying to put a nice sharp C-cup on her without cutting her. And then as far as the front, we're gonna leave that alone. I won't put a line across her forehead. same thing on the opposite side. Do my sidebars behind the ear. And put a nice sharp C cup on her. And as I always state, I appreciate everybody stopping by, checking out my channel. The subscriber count going up, so I appreciate everyone believing in me, supporting my dream. I do plan on, once that's another story, get my bike up and running, I do plan on bringing more motorcycle videos back to the channel, so be on the lookout for that. Of course, I'll keep doing haircut tutorials, and if anything else pops up, then yeah, like I up and did the Ring video cameras, just showing people how to secure their home, how I secure my home. So yeah, stuff comes to mind and I think would be helpful for people. I'm definitely going to put it on my channel. I think everyone should want to secure their home, so that's why I did those 2 Ring camera videos. Now just put a little bit more emphasis on that C curve. And like I said, I'm not going to touch her natural line up across the front of her forehead. So I just thought that would be too masculine. We're going to keep her nice, sexy curve. We're not going to put a masculine looking edge up on her. Just blowing the hair off of her, and I'm gonna let her check it out. And then as a bonus, I'm gonna show you how her hair will look once she wears her hair down, because she has a lot of hair. Doesn't look like a lot. I mean, yes it does, but you'll see. And eventually I will get her brother on the channel. I've been cutting his hair longer than I've been cutting his sister's hair, and she's already on the channel, so I gotta get him. So here's that bonus. See how long her hair is, and that's why I didn't touch her edge up. See, we keep it nice and natural. Thanks for watching. Peace.